Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I am Professor Andrew, and in today's class, we are going over Victorian era / Wild West expressions that we still use today. However, there is a twist with today's lecture that everything will be associated with pigs. So follow me along as we go over the pig idioms and expressions that were used in the Victorian era and Wild West that we still use in everyday life. Now, most of you are all probably wondering why I had an association to pigs this episode, and that's because in my Tales of Laziness on the Couch, I was watching documentaries of the evolutionary processes during the Cenozoic era, and what other animals would be considered ancestors of today's pigs or swine. So I'm turning my laziness and sitting there watching random documentaries your problem. So let's get started. The first expression we are going over today is bleeding like a stuck pig. This simply means that someone or something is bleeding profusely or uncontrollably. And for the YouTube monetization's sake, I will have to give you a very diluted version of what this comes from, and that is when you make an incision in the swine's neck, there may or may not be veins and or arteries there that contain a lot of blood, and if they were nicked in any way, that animal would suffer severe blood loss, therefore leaving it dead. Basically what I'm saying is you slit the pig's throat, cut its jugular vein, and it will bleed to death. This is believed to have originated in the 1820s in India by British military members and is actually an evolution of squeal like a stuck pig. The definition doesn't change much with squeal or stuck because at the end of the day the pig is dying. I would just imagine that it's the sound that the pig makes when it is stuck is the only difference there. Speaking of squealing, that moves us to number 2, everything but the squeal. And the definition of that is leaving very little or nothing to waste. Basically what that means is when you're dealing with a pork product in particular, you are using every conceivable piece of that animal to utilize for human consumption. It is believed in meat processing plants in the 1860s that specialized in pork production was commonly used because it instilled that the employees were to leave very little in terms of waste. That is where the term everything but the squeal comes from, is not to be wasteful, and I'm sure that if you were running a pork processing plant that you would want to use everything off that pig imaginable. The third and final expression that we will cover today is when pigs fly. Obviously, this means that something is implausible or unachievable. Clearly, I don't need to preface why it would be a far cry to see a pig fly. It could be the bone density and the large amounts of fat present on the animal, or maybe just because it doesn't have wings, making it a dubious proposition at best to see a swine take flight. This comes to us by John Whittle's 1616 proverb stating, pigs fly in the air with their tails forward. This can be found in his Latin-English dictionary, but it had to come from somewhere, and is most likely believed to have come from the 4th book of Gargantua and Pantagruel by Francois Rabelais in 1552, which he writes about a monster swine with wings. And that concludes today's lecture of expressions that were used way back when that is now common vernacular today. I do appreciate everyone getting this far into the video. This one was a bit more unique with all the loosely based pig associations that we made today, but I hope that my explanation of why I did this was fun and it was still entertaining for everyone to consume. Apparently everyone likes this type of video, so please let me know if a part 5 is in the foreseeable future. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. I have a Patreon that has been opened up for a few months now. I take great pride in being community funded and community funded only. You will not see sponsorships or ads on these videos, so you know that anything that you see on this channel is homegrown and grassrooted with no external forces influencing the content in either which direction. However, that is to not feel obligation about donating to the Patreon. Only if your means allow you to do so. The content on YouTube will forever remain free. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late, but for those of you who have come across this video because you wanted to learn about English literature, maybe you just wanted to see what I was talking about when I mentioned pigs in the title, or maybe you saw this very nice blazer that I have on and wondered where I got that. It was the Antiques Mall. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do.